Hello, my friends, and welcome to the study. It's the beginning of another month, and today I'm going to do a video that I get a lot of requests for. I get a lot of requests for time management tips and advice and plans and just different ways to schedule the week, the month, tasks. So I've done quite a few of those here in this study, and I'm really glad to know that some of those have helped you. Thank you for all of your kind comments. So I've got the window open today, as you might be able to hear the occasional propeller plane, just one going past now, a bit loud. Kind of like to leave that in there sometimes, because aside from the really nice sounds like a few birds and sometimes a bit of wind in the trees, the relaxing sounds, there are these passing sounds. And it reminds me of a meditation I did once that was very helpful. And it was about identifying a worry, a stressor, a trigger, some thought or worry, or just some thought that seemed to demand your attention and demand that you engage with it. But you don't engage, you just let it pass through your clear, meditating mind, like an airplane in the sky or a bird flying past. Just observe it, know that it will pass, and we're left here in this clear space, in peace. So, today I'll get started with some of the things that we'll use as we focus on little tasks that waste time, similar to those thoughts that come into your head that will pass through the sky like a bird or an airplane. So the things I keep around to help me schedule and organize are bits of scrap paper. So I've got cards here, a bit of nice parchment, blue card, just little scraps, nice smooth paper, cotton pulp paper. It's always good to keep scraps. Also, some of the things I'll be using are a nice mechanical pencil, a fountain pen, this is just a little cord I made a long time ago. I keep it around for whatever use it might be, tie things together. Say, this is a clear sticky note. I got it because it seemed like something useful. The only problem is you really have to have some permanent ink to write on it. Pencil's not quite so good. Ballpoint and fountain pen just rubs off the surface, but interesting to keep. Some sticky notes and some highlighters. get some paper that we're going to work with from our Rhodia notepad with the coated cover and smooth paper. I'll set that up and close the window, even though we've got some birds. But I think there's some probably farming equipment or something in the distance that I'm going to not compete with, and even though I like the birds, we're going to close the window, and it's getting a little bit cold. And then we'll start. We'll go through this as organized as possible. So what we're focusing on today is what we might call time-wasting activities. Activities that take up your time. You either feel compelled to do them, or there's something that needs to be done that takes a lot of extra time. I think all of us have things like that, little tasks, chores, IT problems that you have to fix, but also distractions. Some of these distractions actually need to be done, but lead to other time being spent on other things. So, time wasting, short tasks. Let's shift our thinking a little bit from wasting time to time consuming. Because I don't like to think that all of these things we're doing is actually a waste of time. It's just when we do them and the way we do them. So if we can shift our thinking and fix our schedule to put them in their proper place, do them more effectively, efficiently, and organized, they won't be time-wasting activities so much. So, short tasks such as these might be, how about watching videos? Sometimes we see videos and we think, oh, that's going to be very useful, or that will have some good information in it. And it doesn't matter if it's about what you actually need to do. It could be about any kind of lifestyle thing, relationships, projects, anything really. And it's still valuable, and you think, oh, I want to watch that later. So you might watch videos or put them in a watch list. And your watch list might have, 60, 100, 500 videos in it. And that can bog you down because oh, there's all those videos I want to watch. Something like that. Same with bookmarks. Bookmarks online in your browser. You see a page, I should read that. News feeds. Saved stories. Any saved for later material, reading, watching. That all hangs over your head like a lot of to-do list. And sometimes we fall into the trap of, I'm just going to read this one or watch this one. And we know what happens. We just before we know it, too much time has passed and we haven't done the things we need to do. Other chores or housekeeping type things is organizing your workspace. So it doesn't necessarily have to be electronic clutter. It could be clutter like this. Perhaps you're working on one thing and you need to work on a different thing, and you've got piles of different stuff, materials from different projects and different things that you're doing, and it clutters your workspace. And it can take time to organize it or move it around. What about podcasts? Well, we'll put that in there. Any one of those electronic ones saved for later. Visiting and reading websites. How about shopping? Again, let's shift our thinking on the surface. We can think, oh, shopping, it's a waste of time. It's superfluous. It's unnecessary. It's gratuitous use of time and funds. But there is shopping and shopping research that does need to be done. I opened the window again because it gets hot here in the attic. Really an attic. It's sort of under the roof in this 16th century house, and it's yeah. Well, we've got bird sounds again, so I hope you enjoy them. This is a very informal video, by the way. Okay, so shopping research. What if you need light globes, washing powder, you're looking for a piece of furniture or office supplies. You want to research what's the best thing for the job, look at reviews of things, bits of electronics, whatever it is. It takes time. And you know you're going to do it. It's not like we're going to say, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. That's just a free time activity. No, we're going to schedule that in so we don't waste our time doing it. We use the time wisely. Alright, and that includes ordering as well, because that takes time. If you want to order something online, which we do, I think, most of the time now. So many businesses, even gardening contractors, everything is online. If you need to schedule a contractor to come in, you schedule it online. And even if you don't do that online, there's phone, email, anything having to do with purchasing. Yeah. Good. So we've got a basic list. There's lots more, you can add to this. Let's have a look at our strategy with these things. We're going to, as we said, make time for it. We're going to schedule times for these. For each thing or activity. And we're going to keep to the schedule. So if you have scheduled 20 minutes to organize your workspace, after 20 minutes you stop. Even if you're not finished, you stop and go on to your next thing. So these are the types of tasks that you can really be very strict with the time frame. And that will help you also not think of all of these as just inundating your to-do list. You're going to put time on them. And we're going to go through different planning strategies, how we do this. Tri-monthly, bi-monthly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So if we break down these tasks into feasible bits, they don't have to be done in order, because these are not our large project tasks or main body of work that needs to be done. Even if you want to schedule some downtime, because our intellect needs downtime to digest information and be more productive. So you want to plan downtime as well. And we'll have a look at certain ways to do that. First, let's look at the big picture. We do need to have some discipline to keep our productivity going. Discipline to have a balance of alone time and people time, of productivity time and downtime. So when you do make your schedule, think about that balance, and also don't worry too much, because you are flexible. Some things are set and you work around those. If you miss something, go on to the next day or the next week. So let's have a look at some basic strategies for long term or big picture. Alright, we'll start with the big picture. So we're going to do regularly. At the start of every 2 months, every month, even every week, you can resolve personal issues. It's almost a beginning of the year thing as well, once a year. Big picture things. List your opportunities, right? Taking stock. What are your opportunities? What opportunities do you see happening? What have you got at the moment? And list 3 obstacles that you can eliminate. This is an important one. What are these obstacles? We're not thinking about a time frame, but what 3 obstacles can you eliminate? And when you tick those off, you'll feel like you've accomplished something. Take stock of any personal meetings, and this is not work related. List 3 to 5 people that you're committed to meet. And this is social situations. Keeping your personal life balanced with all of your tasks and work. Another good one. Identify 2 to 5 skills you hope to master. In fact, let's get rid of the word hope and you wish to master. Something that you think you want to do, 2 to 5, depending on your time frame. If we're going by the month, maybe 1 or 2. For several months, 2 or 3 a year. Something that's actually feasible. Okay, that's learning something new. We always have to keep our brains busy. Plan to learn something. Doesn't have to be big, just something. Could be to tie a new knot. Could be to make progress learning a new language. Driving a car, anything. And that'll be something that you can tick off, an accolade for yourself. And the last thing, I like this one. Plan a wonderful day, evening. Okay, could be a dinner with friends, could be a day out alone at the museum, the lake, walk in the woods, something that you have to plan that takes time. Could be alone, could be with any people, but you get to plan it, something you look forward to. So there's your big picture. Alright, let's go a bit closer now. I like to use something like this. The simpler, the better. This one's by Calendar Art. There's lots online you can get. You can buy them in the shops. Just something really simple. You list the month. And this could be the days of the month. Or you can just skip the days and write your priorities. Okay, all of these plans, 3 things I'm going to accomplish. I'm going to accomplish 1 thing this month, 1 thing this month, 1 thing this month. This is your big picture. You can even color code them. Shall we do an example? I always like to write with pencil, but we're using these as well. So I think do pink there for our plan. Mastery of skills. I'm just going to do 4 because we've got 4 colors. Obstacles to eliminate. And let's say opportunities, right? So say we've got the month of February, March, and April. So opportunities. Let's try to do 1 a month. Alright, and we're going to cross off the days that don't exist. So let's identify an opportunity. So in February, let's say we've got an opportunity to see an exhibition. Okay, so let's just put 20th exhibition, March. What's a good opportunity? We can perhaps there will be a conference where we're going to meet some good contacts and maybe present. What kind of opportunity that is. Right. So we've got creative opportunity here, productivity or work opportunity, and in April, let's say we've got an opportunity to collaborate on a project. So this could be work related, it could be creative, could be social. Alright, just any kind of opportunity there. So we're going to color those with orange. Right. So we know vaguely the days this is going to happen. Alright. Obstacles. We can probably list our obstacles near the top. we can put them on the bottom. Alright? Whatever obstacles you have, we know that we can actually eliminate. So, for example, 1 month, let's say this month, we can eliminate, we need to talk to someone. Could be any kind of obstacle there. We need to organize something. A repair, say. Something to be repaired, right? So those are obstacles we can eliminate. We know we can put those somewhere and they'll be gone. What about a skill we're learning? A skill to master. Well, for example, you could be learning to sketch. You could be learning a new language. Right? You could be learning a particular thing. For your work, could be a management course, could be learning a new piece of software, programming language. Let's not get ridiculous. Alright, you can put those either on the days that they're happening or down here as a long plan. So those are your skills. And we'll put them here and just say we've got something there. Right. So we're going to master these. That means at the end of this big picture, we're going to be able to tick this off. Yes, I've done that. I've done that. I've done that. I've taken this opportunity. And at the end of every month, we're going to have a special thing we plan. Party, going out with friends, going out by yourself, water skiing, skydiving, quiet walk on the beach, spend time with your grandmother, anything, something you look forward to. And that's our big picture. Alright, let's move in a little closer now. We're getting towards these time-wasting activities that we're going to be more productive with. I'm going to look at a single month now. Don't know if you can see that, it's very faint. I like the simple ones. And this one has some spots for notes. Might be in your electronic planner. Could be something you print out. Something you make in your good old, in your good old diary that you keep. Your schedule planner. Here's another one. I like this one because we've got little squares with to-do, goals, and notes. There's our monthly planner. Again, we can put some of the tasks from our big picture in here. Things that are fixed, such as perhaps a trip if you're going to be away, class, conference, anything that's fixed. You want to mark out those days, right? So for example, every Monday is one thing. You can do it that way. What have we got today? Today is the 2nd. Fill in all the numbers. I'll do that because it's nice to have a little bit of writing. There we are. You can go into the next month if you like. Yeah. But we're just looking at February right now. And this is where we can see what days, let's say, Mondays and Tuesdays are very busy days. We have a lot of fixed schedule things happening then. So we don't want a lot of this clouding it up, right? Perhaps we want to keep Saturdays free. That's our downtime, free day. That's your monthly. Again, we're going to take stock of what do we want to accomplish this month, right? What are our goals? Maybe longer term goals that go on here. Our 3 monthly goals. Something that's going to take me probably more than a month. Have I broken it down into steps, right? So we've talked about that before. If we have long-term projects, we break them down into tasks and we accomplish, say, 1 or 2 of these things a month. Any other little notes? So that's going to give us a picture of our week. Another monthly planner way to do that. Gradually getting to our weekly now. Let's have a look at our week in terms of productivity. Now our week, because it's the beginning of February, let's look at this. So we've got Saturday, that's a free day. Mondays and Tuesdays are busy days. We've got something going there. So could be you have fixed appointments, classes, could be 9 to 5 job. Maybe you work 5 days a week, 4 days a week. Mark those days out. And if it's 9 to 5, maybe you want to keep the time before and after free, or maybe you want to schedule a little bit of time after for some of these busy tasks, these short, time-optimized tasks. Alright, we're going to go with this one for the moment. Now, keeping in mind our long-term goals, we probably have already scheduled our time for that, and that we've done in a different video. Project planning and things. So here we're just going to say what we're doing that day. So probably we've got several blocks of things and we're going to schedule small tasks. Or our time-consuming tasks. Schedule that afterwards. Won't do it on Monday because Monday's bad enough. Sunday is a good take stock day. And planning. This is a small task that is good to schedule time for. We've got some people outside jibber-jabbering. Well, we're not going to pay attention to them. So take no more than 20 minutes to an hour to do our taking stock. That's how we're going to do this. Alright, so taking stock. Move this up. I'm going to ask some questions. What was the most enjoyable thing over the week? Or the last week? We're looking back over the last week. What was the most enjoyable thing? Right? How many of these enjoyable things? What was the most frustrating. Identify these things, right? Or boring. These are all productivity enemies. We want to identify frustrating and boring things. They happen. It's good to identify them and work with them. Right? What about challenging? What was the most challenging thing that happened through the week? Okay. How confident did you feel? How negative did you feel? Think about that. Confidence times and negativity times. Identify them. What were they? And what distractions? This one's important. What distractions came up? So if we identify these things, we list them. What was boring? What was frustrating? What was the most enjoyable part? What was the most challenging? How confident was I feeling? Did I have any feelings of negativity? What were my biggest distractions this week? Once we list those, we're going to ask the question, how did we deal with it? And if we didn't, what is our plan? How are we going to deal with that through the next week, next month, next year? Not to spend too much time on that, but that's our Sunday take stock. Now we're going to set time aside for our time-consuming short tasks. Figure out what's the most important one, what absolutely has to be done, and what can you just do anytime. If you're like me, you just keep lots of notes, notebooks everywhere, write them on pieces of paper. Now is the time to consolidate those. What little tasks am I waiting to do? What's cluttering up my workspace, figuratively or literally? Good time to use stickies as well, right? Because you can move them from day to day. So if something really needs to be done this week, put it on Monday. If you don't get to it, move it to another day, right? So we're going to schedule small tasks. Let's put a pink on that. Small task time on Tuesday afternoon, right? Let's say we'll do it twice on Wednesday, okay? Morning and afternoon. Evening on Thursday, and both morning, afternoon, Friday, and a bit of time in the afternoon, Sunday. And you can write down exactly what those small tasks are, or you can set aside a time and decide when that time frame comes. Treat it like a meeting or a class. Put away distractions and pick one and work on it. Right? So we'll say 1 hour, Wednesday. And because Tuesday's a busy day, 1 hour there, 1 hour there. You'll be surprised how much you get done. Thursday, we'll put 1 hour in the afternoon or evening, 30 minutes Friday morning, and 30 minutes Friday evening or afternoon, and we'll go for an hour on Sunday. If that's not feasible, do it 30 minutes. Alright, it's got to fit in with your big schedule, the one that we've worked on before. Your projects, fixed time. Alright? Don't put them on your free day. You can do whatever you want your free day. All right. Let's get down to our day now. So I've got a few pages here, example pages. This could be a page in your physical planner, again, something in your electronic planner. Got activities here. You can use your times. I like putting times for the day, especially if you've got a lot going on and you want to make sure you get it all in. And we have priorities. So the first part of your day, which day should we do? Let's do Wednesday. Look at that. So we've got 2 of our small tasks or time-consuming tasks planned. All right. And this doesn't have to be every Wednesday. It could be a particular Wednesday or certain Wednesdays. All right. And we're using pencil so we can erase it. So we'll say if we're starting our day at 8:30, right? So we're going to block off that time for small or time-consuming tasks. And that goes for an hour. And say we've got other things going on. We've got something at 10. That leaves a nice half hour to wrap up, organize, quiet down. And could be your job. Maybe you work from 10 to 6, right? Could be something like that. Okay. Could be certain things spread throughout the day if you have classes, meetings. And then we've got an hour in the evening of time-consuming activities. We'll say, let's do that after dinner. I like to set a time aside in the evening, after which I'm not going to do anything serious. It's my relaxing time. So here we're going to do time-consuming activities here, between 8 and 9. Here we might list what they are. You could list what they are here. Or you can just set aside that hour and address what you feel like addressing. Sometimes priorities change through the week as well. So here we've got our day. We've got our priorities listed, probably in order of importance. We've got a to-do list. This needs to be done, that needs to be done. Right. Brush the dog, wash the dishes, get the car serviced, all of those things. Things that need to be scheduled. Look at your priorities in order for the first 5 minutes of your day. Go over your schedule. Priorities and to-do list. Things that need to happen by the end of the day. Look through your schedule to see if it's actually feasible. Right. Now, if you're at an office, get there an hour before you actually have to work, or depending on your work environment, make sure you've got an hour before you start your day. So here we've started our time-consuming activities at 8:30, which means we'll start this hour, our first hour of our work day, at 7:30. It could be later, depending on your work day. Now what we're going to do in that hour is we're going to reflect and plan. It's a little bit like taking stock for our long term, our big picture, but it's much more concentrated. You can spend an hour doing it or less, but no longer. Right? So during this hour, we're going to look at our monthly plan. Look at your 3-monthly plan that we did. Familiarize yourself with everything. Maybe you've forgotten something and you thought, oh yes, remind yourself. Have a look at your notes. A few minutes doing that. Look at your big picture. Right? Identify your to-do list, your updates. Update the schedule for the day if it needs it. Right? This could be online. Right? And the things that need to be done on your to-do list, as well as your priorities, just quickly identify, how are we going to address that? How am I going to attack that? Okay. And this is not the time to engage with any difficult tasks that involve thinking or conflict. This is quick. Avoiding distractions. No meetings. Alright? So this could take a half hour, but no longer than an hour. And then before you start either a class, a meeting, a work session, or your work day, take some downtime, quiet time. We've got a lot of birds here. It's a very nice morning, and this is a very informal video. And I hope you like it. I know I've had lots of requests for this. And let's get down to our time-consuming bits. Alright. So here we are. I hear some chickens now. There's a lot of noises coming. See, I'm being distracted. It's a really funny noise. I don't know if you can hear that. I've never heard that chicken before, so I don't know where it's coming from. Unusual. So we've got our goals for the day set out. We know what we're going to do, and we have a very set period of time that we're going to address these little short things, right? And so during this hour on Wednesday, it happens to be 8:30. Have a look at our tasks. Maybe we've got a sticky note there saying I need to do this. Address one of those, right? Maybe we want to organize our computer desktop. Maybe we want to read an article that we saved for later, right? Watch a video, listen to a podcast. Organize that list of time-consuming tasks. All of that takes time. So you're going to use that hour to knock off some of those. Then, when the hour's finished, you're done, you put that aside, and you can go on to your other things. We've got another hour at the end, so I can do that at the end as well. And bit by bit, this constantly shifting list, or as I like to think of it, a bucket of things to do, seems less intimidating. And perhaps we actually get something worthwhile done, like organizing the workspace, right? Maybe I actually found an article that I read that's inspiring me or gave me an idea for something I'm doing during the week or the day. Maybe I feel better having gotten rid of a lot of saved things that I really wasn't going to look at, so maybe I organized my bookmarks or something. I made a phone call to inquire about something. I wrote an email to ask about something I was purchasing or planning. Any of these little activities that ends up taking time, biting time out of your day. Keep them confined. And at the end of the day, you take another 5 minutes, right? Turn off all your gadgets, all your devices, and mentally review. You can use your taking stock questions, or you can ask, how did the day go? Right? Was it a good day? Was it a bad day? What success have I had? What challenges did I endure? Did I learn anything? Did I learn something about myself or someone else? Is there anything I plan to do differently tomorrow? So you can look at the next day's schedule. Right? Is there anyone I need to thank or ask a question of or share feedback with? Whatever you didn't finish in your to-do list, by the end of the day, push it on to the next day. Don't keep going. Alright, so these time-consuming activities, they're in your bucket. That bucket will keep moving along, and you can just pick something out of it at leisure. So hopefully that perspective will help you optimize your time-consuming activities so that they aren't time-wasting activities. And to wrap up our perspective on optimized time-consuming, just a few things to keep in mind when you're working out your schedule. Don't forget to periodically update your schedule, right? But limit your time planning. Because that can be a time-consuming thing. You can just get carried away with it and it can start eating into your productivity, right? Keep in mind that the morning is a good time for important tasks. Tasks you know you can handle, because that will set you up for the day, right? And if you work with people, make sure you say hello to them, greet people when you come in the morning. It makes a big difference in how the rest of your day goes, right? This morning's a good time for those sorts of things. Anything important, don't skip breakfast. That keeps you going. And make sure you're organized. The afternoon is good for low-key activities. Nothing that's going to be pressing you, but still you can organize those things, and this will help you be less stressed if you know what to expect and you know what's happening. So any kind of low key or low energy, lower energy consuming. So it might be a good time. Keep that in mind when you're scheduling your small tasks. If something is going to require perhaps a little bit more mental acuity, maybe you want to schedule it in the morning. I really want to get my workspace organized well, or I need to find some papers. Something more low-key. Maybe I need to research some shopping that doesn't take a huge amount of mental questioning. So that might be a good afternoon task. So keep that in mind. Right? And the important one for those of us ASMR fans, sensitive, peaceful creatures, is not only to keep to schedules, because it keeps us centered, but also make sure you have a few minutes of peace and quiet before and after any kind of major schedule, meeting, class, task. Helps enormously, but it also is demanded by your intellect, gives your mind, your emotions, your psyche, time to digest what's finished and set up for what's coming. So in this way, we can make our time wasting into optimized time consumption. I hope this helps you. If you have other ideas or feedback on this, do let me know in the comments. So thank you for watching. Thanks to everyone who's liked and subscribed to Secret Scholar in this study. So glad to see you all here. And if you haven't already, you can have a look at the study's Patron website. The link is below. And I'd like to say a special thank you to our January 2025 study patrons. Andreas, thank you. Thank you. Ben, thank you. Thank you. Joshua, thank you. Thank you. Pirate Gary, thank you. Thank you. Romulus, thank you. Thank you. Oops, lost our lid. We've popped a lid. And there I am. Thank you. Thank you. And Carman 1000. Thank you. Thank you. You're an absolutely wonderful group of patrons and an integral part of the study. So this is Secret Scholar, wishing you a great month ahead. Plenty of productivity, plenty of peace and calm, and good to yourself, be kind to others, and be extraordinary.